Welcome to another episode, everyone. Pam Bondi confronted about who transferred Ghislaine Maxwell, convicted of abusing children, to a VIP prison. Why would someone transfer Ghislaine Maxwell, who after having a meeting with the government a couple of days later was transferred to a VIP prison, receiving all sorts of perks? A woman convicted of gruesome crimes against children. Pam Bondi continues to cover up and coddle abusers. Let's get into it.
Who ordered her to be transferred to the minimum security prison that she was ineligible for? Who signed off on the special privileges? Was it Mr. Blanche? Was it one of your other subordinates? So please, can you tell us who sent her there, since you don't agree she should be there?
I said I do not agree she should receive special treatment. She was transferred, I learned after the fact, to the same level facility, and that is a question for the Bureau of Prisons. I was not involved in that at all. The same level facility, I don't know why, but you know, instead of talking about Ghislaine Maxwell, who hopefully will die in prison, you should be talking about Irina Zarutska.
I have a couple
who
of
died
other
on a subway.
Right, and I absolutely...
You don't talk about that.
I have been talking about it and actually helping with these issues. Attorney General Bondi, I think...
No, we should not be talking about Zarutski. We should be talking about Keith Porter Jr., Mike Brown, Philando Castile, George Floyd, Trayvon Martin. Let's talk about that.
I think you and pretty much everybody else here and throughout the country believes that convicted sex offenders don't deserve special treatment or privileges in prison. And yet Ghislaine Maxwell...
No, they do not believe that. Clearly, they do not. They believe that these abusers, sick abusers, should be free. They believe that they should not be in prison, much less in a VIP prison. They should not be in prison, which is why none of them are in prison. Even though the Epstein files have somewhat been released here in America, the full files, unredacted, have been released in Germany and France. You can find the files and read these files and see how sick these crimes are. Do not be misled. It's a fallacy that it was just some abuse of some little girls. Like Megyn Kelly said, oh, just abuse of some little 13, 14-year-old girl. That's different than abusing a 5-year-old girl, Megyn Kelly said. Because they're all abusers. The women too. They protect abusers. Their fathers were abusers. Their fathers abused them. They relate to these abusers. They're sick. The Epstein files is as American pie. These individuals have been doing this for generations. And this is some sick stuff in these files. And you would transfer the lady who is guilty of some of this grisly offenses against children. You would transfer her to a VIP prison after she has been found guilty of this. She's been found guilty. No question that she was involved. You want to question everyone else in the files because you want to coddle for and make excuses for these predators. Even though a lot of you individuals have children, you're all sick too. Make no mistake about it.
Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirator, received perk after perk in prison. In July, she had a 2-day interview with your deputy and President Trump's former defense attorney, Todd Blanche. Just days after that, Maxwell was transferred from a federal correctional institution in Florida to a minimum security camp in Texas, which she, as a sex offender, would normally be ineligible for. At this new facility, as the ranking member talked about, and by the way, it's nicknamed Club Fed, We've heard reports that she's been afforded special privileges, puppy time, private workouts, personal mail, secretarial services. Attorney General Bondi, does a convicted sex offender like Ghislaine Maxwell deserve special treatment and privileges in prison? Yes or no?
Let me be crystal clear on this. No. And
Thank you.
let me keep going. No, let me keep going.
Perfect. Well, I
did not know she was being transferred.
I asked you yes or no.
She was not transferred to a lower
Mr. Chairman,
level.
please stop the clock and remind the witness of the rules. One rule she needs to
And
understand
I'm glad
here.
that we're agreeing. So when we're agreeing, we can move on to some other things.
When
But
we're
I
not
want you
agreeing,
to
we move on.
know that every time she does get these perks, and it's been publicly reported, that the folks she's abused, the survivors who are sitting here, they see themselves as being denied justice. They feel re-traumatized. And I'm glad that we agree on that. But she should not be in that prison. And she needs to be moved back to a maximum security prison as soon as possible. But what she has told another committee here is that she won't cooperate with them unless she gets clemency from Donald Trump. It's just crazy to consider that she can be wielding this kind of influence within the administration. But that begs the question, who ordered her to be transferred to the minimum security prison that she was ineligible for? Who signed off on the special privileges? Was it Mr. Blanche? Was it one of your other subordinates? So please.
Sick individuals. These people can get away with anything. They did not want her in prison, first of all, just like they did not want Epstein in prison because they know too much. That's why they killed Jeffrey Epstein. Make no mistake about it. He did not take himself out. They killed him. It's all coming out and it will all come out, of course. You think they're beyond or above that? Don't be foolish. They have an insatiable thirst for blood, for killing. This is what they've been doing all of their lives, generation after generation. This is all they do, and this is all that they know. Again, read these sick Epstein files and see the level of the depravity. And since Ghislaine Maxwell knows so much, and they all know, the culprits, the individuals who are complicit, they know how much she knows. They were there with her when they were doing this stuff. So when she has a meeting with Trump's people, and 2 days later, she's transferred to a prison that she is ineligible for as an offender. So no offenders can go to this particular prison with all of these privileges that this prison possesses. No one except Ghislaine Maxwell. No one else in the country who is charged and guilty of these crimes can go to this prison. But she is. She did. She was transferred there after having a meeting with Trump and his cronies. And then, as the lady here alluded to, she then said that she would cooperate or what have you if she is granted clemency, if she is freed from jail by Trump, even though she's been found guilty of these grisly crimes against children. She's leveraging her information for freedom. And Trump, by the way, has not ruled it out. But they transferred her to this prison to coddle her. She has all of the dirt on them. So she said, either you do what I tell you to do, get me out of this crazy prison right here, this maximum security prison, where I can barely leave a cell, the food is horrible, etc., and get me to this plush prison. Give me the Club Fed. Reminds me of when Martha Stewart went to a prison they called Camp Cupcake. What is going on here? Now, Martha Stewart's situation is a lot different than this lady, Ghislaine Maxwell, who's accused of being involved in abusing these children. But we soon find out, I'm sure, that she was involved in the murder of these children as well, because a lot of these children were murdered. A lot of these children were killed. A lot of them. Babies were killed. Babies were eaten. Yes. But she went to a plush prison because she knows too much. She says, I'm going to expose you. Get me out of here. And they said 2 days later, she was in another prison with a tennis court, eating steak. And she's still there. Is ineligible for this. No one can say who signed off on it. They break the law and bend the law when it fits them, when it's convenient for them. She's not supposed to be in this prison. And yet they moved her there. They don't respect the law.
Can you tell us who sent her there, since you don't agree she should be there?
I said I do not agree she should receive special treatment. She was transferred, I learned after the fact, to the same level facility, and that is a question for the Bureau of Prisons. I was not involved in that at all. The same level facility, I don't know why, but you know, instead of talking about Ghislaine Maxwell, who hopefully will die in prison, you should be talking about Irina Zarutska.
I have a couple of
died
other
on a
questions.
subway.
Right, and I absolutely...
You don't talk about that.
I have been talking about it and actually helping with these issues. But we're going to move back to you.
I bet we are.
Yes, of course, because you're here to testify. That's what the whole point of this endeavor is. So of course we're moving back to you. It is all about you. So as we've heard, she took the fifth.
This lady is banana. This lady is delusional. Pam Bondi, she's weird. We're moving back to you. Of course you are. Yes. You've been subpoenaed to testify. They're there to uncover what you have been covering up. The predators that you have been covering up for. They are there to uncover this. And they have been exposing it and uncovering this. That you, the FBI, Donald Trump, the entire administration, Kristi Noem, have been covering up abuse, scams for millions of dollars, murders, not releasing all of the paperwork. You've been covering it up. Yes, we're moving back to you. Yes, she wants you to answer these questions, and so does the American people. What is wrong with you, lady? Delusional.
In response to every single question in that committee hearing, and her lawyer dangled the offer of clemency. Should Donald Trump pardon or commute her sentence? Should she be released from prison, yes or no? You said you hope she dies there, so I'm hoping the answer is no.
I already answered that question.
Good. I'm very glad. I really like this bipartisan agreement about what should happen with her.
But you don't want to talk about Irina Zarutska. You don't want to talk about
I talk about
murdered
her all
by
the
a
time,
violent crime
but
offender
I am not
in
here
your
to
jurisdiction.
testify before Congress. You are. That is your job today. That's what you're getting paid for.
With attack.
So I want you to know that your own DOJ employee, he's recently been demoted and had some other problems, advises on pardons. Do you think he will be advising Mr. Trump on any kind of clemency or pardon for Ghislaine Maxwell?
I'm not going to speculate, and you couldn't even identify properly. That's why you don't want to talk about Irina Zarutska. You couldn't properly identify her relative.
I absolutely
It's embarrassing.
have been, and her family, by the way, appreciates all of the condolences, all of the help, everything that our law enforcement in North Carolina has been doing to help her family. Her family feels well treated. Thank you, and I yield back.
Ms. Lady yields back. Gentleman from California is recognized.
I'd ask you now.
Wow. And that's what they do. Totally evasive all the time, refuses to answer any question directly, asks the question directly, but can never get a straight or direct answer because they're covering up for predators and abusers and murderers. That's what they're doing. It's all going to come out. It's already come out in other countries, and individuals who are in the Epstein files have been held accountable already in other countries. Everywhere except here in America, the land of the great, the home of the free. Knock it off. People make me sick, man. Pam Bondi, there you have it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Exposed, once again. Why are these people moving Ghislaine Maxwell from a high security prison where she clearly belongs? Anyone convicted of these crimes belong in a high security prison. And then anyone convicted of these crimes would be there, as she was, for a second, until she had the meeting with those individuals in the government, and then she was transferred to a plush prison, a VIP prison, where she has secretarial access. She has a secretary. What is going on here? Yeah, you let me know. Stay safe and stay free, people.